Did Leo Fender create the perfect guitar? Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, and today we are going to talk about the Fender Stratocaster and why this is such a perfect guitar for beginners, intermediates, and professionals, or if you're just a collector as well. Now on this channel I talk about anything related to guitars. If that's something that you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. There will be more. Thank you for your support, guys. Now, without further ado, I really want to talk about this guitar right here, but just Stratocasters in general. As you may know, if you're not new to the channel, I have talked about Stratocasters in the past. I have done an ultimate guide on which Stratocaster you should get. So if you haven't seen that video, do check that out afterwards. I kind of break down the price points, the type of materials that they use, the sound quality. I have back-to-back clips of a Squier Stratocaster, a Mexican-made Fender Stratocaster, and of course the American Professional. Now, one thing that when I started playing guitar, one thing I realized about a Stratocaster is that it is one of the most versatile guitars that you can get. Of course, you have the three pickups, right? The three pickups really does help in a lot of situations, giving you that five-way switch. I think you can get so many different tones, and I'm going to show you, some different tones that you can get from this. This is the pedal board that I currently have for this video. It is on a Nano Plus pedal train board. As you can see, these are the pedals going through from right to left. So basically, tuner into the booster, into the super overdrive, into the delay first, and then into the reverb. And then I have it into the Boss YC V4050 on the clean channel. The main thing is, first of all, is the pickup configuration. You do have three pickups on here and a five-way switch, including a series parallel, which gives you a sixth type of voicing if you want. And I think when it boils down to the neck, middle, and the bridge pickup, it does give you so many different types of sounds that you can get that are very hard to achieve on, say, a guitar like a Les Paul Jr. or even a double humbucker. The single coils, it does really shine, especially for something like praise and worship. If that's the type of music that you play, I really think that's a very, very solid guitar to go for. One of the things that I realized is when I was playing live and I'm playing for praise and worship, it's the single coil sound, especially in the neck pickup, is so good. It's so clear, it's punchy, and it really cuts through the mix, even though it's not like a high output pickup. A lot of times I like to run it through an EP booster just to kind of make the tone a little bit more round. And from my experience, I noticed that it still cuts through into the mix really well. I'm gonna play a few samples for you in a bit, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what the sounds you can get from a Stratocaster. Like the tuning stability on these guitars in general are very, very good. I've had Les Pauls in the past where you kind of see that the strings are pulled back towards the headstock and pulled to the sides. And I think that does actually really affect the tuning stability of the guitars, especially when it comes to the G string. I noticed that a lot of those Les Pauls, they kind of slip in tuning relative to something like a Stratocaster or a Telecaster neck, where if you notice that the strings are perfectly, they don't really bend to the side. Fender does a pretty good job at keeping it straight in line and just pulling it back after the nut. So that really does help with tuning stability. Of course, with the Stratocaster, you do have the option of hardtailing it. That's what I did. I don't really use a tremolo, so I decided to just hardtail that. But let's go into the next thing. Third thing here we really have to talk about is really the shape of the entire Stratocaster. I know this is a very iconic shape in general, but think about this for a little bit longer. Think about the belly cut here, When I was buying a guitar in the beginning, when I was starting out, I never really cared about these little details that a Stratocaster has. But if you look at the overall construction of it, it's really built in a way that is all about comfort and just ergonomically perfect, if you think about it. This is the perfect guitar design. And there's a reason why so many guitar companies out there are copying it. First thing is the belly cut, right? Like we talked about it, it feels so comfortable when it's just up against your body here. It feels very comfortable. I've never had fatigue when I was playing live. You can be standing for hours and it doesn't feel like you're really holding anything too heavy. And Stratocasters in general, they range from 7 to 9 pounds in general. Whereas if you compare to say a Les Paul, which is probably the second most purchased guitar and the second most popular, they could range up to 12 pounds. Those are heavy, right? And of course, it's a slightly different guitar. They offer obviously more sustain, but if we're talking about just pure comfort, nothing really beats a design like this, right? So you have the belly cut, and then right here at the edge, right here at the edge of the guitar, it sits perfectly in your right arm, right? Like there is nothing here that prevents you from feeling uncomfortable. It's just a perfect guitar from the belly cut to the slight taper. And if you are going for something like the American Professional, or even if you want to go for a Shure or LSL or any of the other boutique Stratocaster builders, they're going to have a sculpted heel, which just adds to the overall comfort and the ergonomics of the guitar. Of course, you have double cutaway, which is a very popular Stratocaster design. Double cutaway offset, and it looks beautiful. You have a fret access in the upper range, up to 22 frets on this guitar. And if you're somebody who likes to play high up in the range, no big issue. decking it out. You know, you can add tremolo, string through body. What more can you ask for in a Stratocaster? I really do think that when it comes to things like a Stratocaster, you're probably looking at a guitar that in general is something that every guitarist should own at some point in their life. I think, you know, having one, it feels like it might not be enough because there's so many configurations that you can get with the pickup selection, the type of woods. This is a maple neck, but I would love to get a Stratocaster with a rosewood neck. This one has gloss polyurethane finish. I would love to get another one that's like a nitrocellulose paint. And then of course you have the vintage tuners. These are just the standard tuners. And there's just a lot of different things that you could add and change about a Stratocaster. So, you know, there is a reason why Fender is really trying to, you know, shut down all operations on anything related to Stratocasters because it is a very, very good design. So if you're actually in the market for a Stratocaster, I really feel like this is probably the perfect time to quickly grab one before some of these, you know, these other builders that copy Stratocaster designs. If they have to shut down, then there may be less options for you, right? So it's something to really think about. I really do think that Stratocasters in general are so good guitars. All my favorite guitar players growing up play them. You know, when I was young, you know, even listening to like pop punk music, like Blink-182, Tom DeLonge uses it. Early day Green Day uses it. Billy Joe Armstrong until he switched to a Les Paul. You have John Frusciante of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eric Clapton, John Mayer, of course, right, before he went on to PRS. But there's so many iconic Strat players out there, and if you're into, you know, like Japanese rock or anything, you'll know that these older bands like Larkin Sill, they use it as well, right? Like everybody probably has one. Every artist that you like probably use one, and there's a reason why. It's just such a versatile guitar that you can use. So yeah, hopefully you guys like the clips. Hopefully that kind of helps you, that kind of, you know, gravitates you to getting a Stratocaster. I do think that, you know, it's a really, really good guitar to have. And I'm not saying you have to get a Fender or a Squier. You know, there's so many brands out there right now that still make them, I guess. So if you're in the market for a Stratocaster and you don't want to get a Fender, then maybe you want to start looking at, you know, like maybe even the PRS Silver Sky or something, right? I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Stratocaster is one of the best guitars ever made? Do you think it's the best design? Or do you prefer something else? Do you think that the Stratocaster is overrated? Let me know. Maybe you guys have a better guitar in mind. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.